Widespread efforts to continue devaluation of Black womanhood make it extremely difficult and oftentimes impossible for the Black woman to develop a positive self concept. For we are daily bombarded by negative images. Indeed, one strong oppressive force has been this negative stereotype and our acceptance of it as a viable role model upon which we can pattern our lives. Bell hooks.
Hello, you're listening to Sisters Who Followed the Yam, Two Women in Self Recovery, a podcast about healing, joy, and community. Brought to you by Sober Black Girls Club. Inspired by Bell Hooks' 1994 release, Sisters of the Yam, Black Women and Self Recovery. We are your hosts, Khadi and Takia. Welcome.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Sisters Who Follow the Yam, Two Women in Self Recovery. This is Khadi. I'm here by myself today. As I mentioned over the past couple of episodes, Taki was promoted at work. And that kind of interfered with our recording schedule, but we're going to make it work. But for today, there's me and there's you. I hope you are well. I hope you're staying warm, hydrated, healing. Today, we're going to talk about sober symbols and visualization. So, sometime last year, one of our members created a post on social media. And in the post, she wrote that when she first stopped drinking, she decided to use the unicorn as her sober symbol. Now, before I read this post, came across this post, I'd never heard of a sober symbol. I didn't know what that was. For her, the unicorn stood for being different and awesome, standing apart from the crowd. In the post, she included a picture that read sober versus drunk. Under the word sober was a picture of a beautiful unicorn, and underneath the word drunk was a picture of a donkey, also known as a jackass. For her, the picture was a reminder that when she wasn't drinking, she was magical in being her best authentic self. And when she was drinking, she was the total opposite of that. The post in general that was created by a member resonated with me so much that eventually I went looking for my own sober symbol. A month later, I agreed on the butterfly. Now, before I get into why I picked the butterfly and what it meant for me, I want to talk about visualization and healing just for a bit. Early in the episode, I read a quote from Bell Hooks' Sisters of the Yam, Black Women in Self Recovery, where Bell Hooks talks about how it can be difficult and oftentimes impossible for Black women to develop a positive self concept. We know this all too well. I know I can relate. When I was a child, I remember hating like my hair, longer, straighter hair was in. I hated my curves. I used to literally wrap sweaters around my waist because I hated my hips. I hated my butt. I wanted to be lighter. I wanted to be taller. I pretty much had a negative sense of self and low self esteem. Now, fast forward to more recent times where we're seeing more coily, kinky hair representation in the media. We're seeing more body positivity. We're seeing more dark skin beauty representation and all of its glory. And we're loving it. And with that being said, there's absolutely no doubt that the confidence of dark skinned girls, dark skinned folks bigger than a size 8, folks with kinky, coily hair has gone up. I know my confidence has gone up. My self esteem has increased. I now embrace my curves and skin like I've never done before. And visualization has played a huge role in that. It has played a huge role in my glow up, and I'm pretty sure in the glow up of many other folks. By having access to positive pictures and creative imagery, and visualization has changed the way I see myself and others. Having access to positive pictures and these images in positive ways and positive manners, in creative manners, definitely has changed the way I see myself and how I see others. So, similar to how Black Girl Magic, Black Girl Beauty has made its way to mainstream media and fostered self acceptance and self love in our community, sober symbols can do the same for our sobriety and overall healing. Now, back to the butterfly. I chose the butterfly because for me, they represent transformation, personal growth, and progress in life. When I think about butterflies, I think about when I was in elementary school and our class was learning about the life cycle of a butterfly and how that cycle is a representation of my life and my healing today. So I'm not great at science or math, but what I do remember, the life of a cycle of a butterfly. Eggs are hatched, right? Into tiny caterpillars. The caterpillars then feed on leaves hanging upside down to form their cocoons, then their pupas. The pupa then undergoes a complete metamorphosis and emerges into a beautiful butterfly. So I think that's like a 4-part cycle, if I can remember correctly. And for me at the moment, I'm in the pupa stage, undergoing a metamorphosis. And at the end of my metamorphosis, I hope to become the woman I have always imagined to be, one of joy, high self esteem, confidence, service. There are times now when life does throw me curveballs, or I'm just experiencing growing pains, and I visualize me as a caterpillar in a cocoon before it turns into a pupa. Cocoons are somewhat slimy, and they're not always that they're not that pretty to look at. However, the imagery does give me hope. Like the imagery of, or the image of a cocoon, knowing that a butterfly is going to one day come out of that cocoon, gives me hope. It helps me accept that there are certain hurdles I'm going to have to overcome to become my best self, and that's okay. Because at the end of the cycle will be the finest, bestest version of me. So if you're listening to this episode, I invite you to explore symbols and images that resonate with you in your journey, that give you encouragement and hope when you need it most. Thanks for listening. Goodbye for now.
Thank you for listening to Sisters Who Followed the Yam, 2 women in self-recovery. Join us weekly and follow us at Sober Black Girls Club on all social media platforms to stay informed.